like you said, opportunity for somebody to journey alongside of you that doesn't need you to be anything. I love that.
And just allow you to be fully in your broken state. While they can be broken with you, they're still like, oh, but I need you to be my wife. I need you to be my mom. I need you to be my, you know what I mean? And to be able to step into a room with a therapist, or, if it's beneath the skin with your mentor,
Yeah.
and just say, I'm broken, and then that's it, right?
Hey, I'm Nick, and I'm here with Matty Mullins. Matty, welcome.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. This is awesome.
So glad to have you here. So glad to hear your new song. I love Nails, love hearing it on the radio, love the passion in your voice, love the YouTube video of you singing that. I don't think you open your eyes. You're just in that song, aren't you?
Yeah, and I think that that might not be the best thing. People would say that you should have your eyes open in a music video, but man, like I when I'm in the zone, I'm in the zone, and I just, especially with this project, it just feels so much less about me and so much more about the message in the song. So I put myself into it like I'm hearing the song for the first time.
Wow. And you're performing it like you believe it. And
Yeah.
I'm drawn in by that because there's nothing else distracting. And I think you probably set up the music video in that way so the lyrics could really shine. It's very stark setting for those lyrics to just live in. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, I always want to keep, with this project, I want to keep the videos simple and just message focused. You know what I mean? Like, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's so much less about the video or me or anything. And what kind of video can you watch that will draw you in but keep you focused on the message at the same time, you know?
You did it. You did it.
Yeah.
And what I
Thanks.
was thinking about when I was listening to it, undistracted because there was nothing else going on but you singing words. How are you listening to that? And I know you just said that you're listening to it like it was for the first time. And certainly in the writing of that, it was a process finding all those right words. And we'll talk about writing in a minute. But I want to talk about how you listen to music, how you listen to it as a solo artist, but how you listen to it as the lead vocalist of a band. And do you find that listening to music that you are singing and you are writing has a comparison to how you listen to other musical favorites?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, I mean, the honest truth is that I have to be really careful when listening to music to try to listen from just a listener standpoint and not from a critical standpoint. I can be pretty hard on myself, you know?
Hmm.
Um, so when I'm listening to my own music, it's I have to try to remove myself from the writing session, remove myself from all of the mix notes, from anything like sonically that I wanted kind of tweaked or anything like that, and just listen from the perspective of if I was hearing this song for the first time right now, how would I be feeling, you know? Which is so much easier to do with other artists' music, you know. So Jordan Feliz is a really close friend of mine, and anytime he finishes a new song, even like in demo form, he'll send it over, and I'm always just like, dude, you have the formula. Like this is so incredibly good. And yeah, it's just easier to listen and enjoy music from other artists. Um, but yeah, I mean, I would say 99% of the time that I'm like just listening to music is when I'm in the car,
Yeah.
you know. Whether that be radio or if somebody, releases something, um, I like to, go on to Spotify or Apple Music and download it and go and just listen a couple times and study it, but also enjoy it. But yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
I love that you and Jordan Felice are great friends because I feel like you have very similar hearts in how you approach
yeah,
your art, that maybe you are a little bit more self-critical than you need to be, but it creates a pattern for both of you guys to continue to be more than you think that you can be, more, and pushing your music forward in that way is a beautiful friendship. It's got to be.
It's awesome. Yeah, we have a lot of fun together. I think that we're both like pretty eccentric people. And we both like to laugh and smile a lot. So it's usually just kind of a riot all the time. Jordan's really great at cooking. I love to cook. So we
Yes.
like to do dinner together and, cook for our wives. And we actually did a thing for his insurance company a few days ago. It's one of those shared kind of insurance companies, but they like sent out a crew and we cooked for them and it was so much fun. Kind of filmed the whole thing. I don't know when that'll be out. It'll probably be somewhat soon, but we enjoy a lot of the same things, and I have such um just an insane amount of respect for him as a person, as an artist, as a husband, as a father. So we like hanging out.
That's amazing. And you need to pull Jordan Felice back into his early days of some metalcore. That would be fun to hear him do that again, right?
Yeah. So we have similar backgrounds in that, the kind of music that we played and listened to when we were younger. And for me, it's become a career. For him, it's just fun memories. But
Yeah.
the hairstyles is something that we'll always regret.
Never, never. Speaking of, I had to make sure my hair was on point for
Woo!
this.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
you got your hair cut. So I wasn't ready to see you with short hair.
Yeah. So I posted a picture on Instagram a couple weeks ago of me with like long curly hair, and it was fake. It was a joke, but nobody knew. Nobody, I thought everyone would instantly be like, "Oh, that's so funny," but people were like, "Oh, cool, you got long curly hair now," and I was like, "No, it's just an app."
It's,
So yeah, I usually keep my hair pretty short, shorter
but
now than ever
you usually
before.
do the top long, right?
Yeah, it was. The top was longer for quite a while, but
Yeah,
you
that's what I
know,
meant.
the more we tour and the more I'm just, without great bathrooms as most venues would be, it's just great to have something that's kind of easy to keep sharp.
We've talked about On Point Pomade before. And
Yeah.
are you still connected with your friend down in Nashville where they've gone and helped? I mean, just with a simple haircut, changed an image that people have of themselves. Do you still keep up with him?
Yeah, his name's Abishai, and he's a barber in Nashville at a shop called 4010. They have a thing called Nashville Street Barbers, and they will go out and just do free haircuts for the homeless community in Nashville. And yeah, like to say that some people might be like, oh, cool, like they make people they give them haircuts. They might not be able to afford to make them look a little bit better or whatever, but it's so much more than that. Getting a haircut with a barber is all about the experience and the conversation that you have. And just in that moment, of course they're going to look better, but they are feeling human. You know what I mean? Feeling human, the interaction that you get to have, the story that they get to tell. Everybody has a story, and especially in the homeless community, just some really incredible and heartbreaking and inspiring stories that you just wouldn't get outside of that. And so, yeah, they do that, and it's awesome. And if you want to look at that mission and support that mission, Nashville Street Barbers is very cool.
I love that. And Abishai, and you guys go back a minute. So
Yeah,
that's very, very special. Well,
yeah,
speaking of how people begin to see themselves in new ways, I know your wife, Brittney, and you have Beneath the Skin tried to show people that there's more to them than what people see.
yeah. So Brit's nonprofit, Beneath the Skin, it's a peer-to-peer mentoring program for young women all over the country. And we've realized, especially with things that we've gone through individually as people and together in our marriage, when you are struggling with something, the people around you, whether it be family or friends, they can be there for you, but you will always feel this subconscious feeling of I have to be something for them. They know me, so I need to be strong for them, or they know me, I need to be, you know, a good daughter, a good sister, a good whatever it might be. And when you go and you see a therapist, you realize how impactful it can be to have a relationship with someone that doesn't need you to be anything, right? Like you can just be broken. You can just be in the season that you're in and talk with somebody. Well, there's a lot of people that can't afford traditional therapy. And so Beneath the Skin sets up a way for this person to have a peer mentor that they can walk through a 12-month season with and just be themselves, be fully them without the need to feel like they have to be there for somebody or be something for someone. And it really is beautiful, that relationship, what it can birth. Just being able to have somebody to walk through a season with you, somebody outside of your circle, is really magical, the results that they've seen.
Yeah, I love that. I was introduced years ago. We had multiple miscarriages and some things in my life that I just needed to resort. And I went to a cognitive therapist, which was phenomenal because I
Yeah.
love topography and land. And, I feel like sometimes if I wasn't in the entertainment business, I would be in topography and just measuring different elevations and land and things like that. But they
Yeah.
allowed me to see my brain as terrain.
Mhm.
And and this is my interpretation of what they were saying. So it's, but it was so good to know, like, okay, this is a steep trek right here for you.
Right.
And this is just going to be a time for you. This area is a time for you just to keep pace and walk. And it's an amazing, like you said, opportunity for somebody to journey alongside of you that doesn't need you to be anything. I love that.
And just allow you to be fully in your broken state. I mean, with a series of miscarriages, I can only imagine how heartbreaking that was. And you have your significant other and you have your family. It's like, while they can be broken with you, they're still like, oh, but I need you to be my wife. I need you to be my mom. I need you to be my, you know what I mean? And to be able to step into a room with a therapist, or, if it's Beneath the Skin with your mentor,
Yeah.
and just say, I'm broken. And then that's it, right? Like, not I'm broken and yes, I can go do the laundry and do the dishes and talk to you about your day, but like, I'm broken and that's the end of what I have to say. Can be really impactful.
I love it. And I love you and Brittney together. You guys are just a force of joy. The last time I saw you together was down in Orlando
Yeah.
at industry function. And Brittney both of you together, it just, there's something about you that draws people to you. And you're both very, very beautiful. And
Oh,
together,
thank
like I
you.
said, a force of joy.
Yeah,
Um,
she's awesome. She is, I think a big part of the success of our marriage is every day I wake up and I realize, like, she's definitely out of my league. you know? And that realization daily has been awesome. Just a constant state of gratitude. Like, I can't believe I'm married to you. It's pretty awesome.
That is great. And really, you guys got married young. So you've almost been married half of your life, Matty.
Mhm. Yeah. So we are 17 years married and got married at 18, just a week after we graduated from high school. And I wouldn't say, like, if another 18-year-old was to come up to me and say, like, would you recommend getting married at 18? It's like, I wouldn't, because I don't know your situation, but I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that this was my wife if she would have me, right? And yeah, our love story is a lot of fun. We can go down that path for hours. But yeah, she's awesome and a constant source of inspiration to me, and just a really strong human.
And to others too, Beneath the
Yeah.
Skin. We want
Mm.
people to check that out for sure.
Yeah.
Well, tell me, when we go back to Nails, here, your latest that's available now,
Yeah.
everywhere you find music. Talk to me about the songwriting of that. It was you and two other folks. Were you in a room together when you did that? Or was this more of I have a concept, let's see what words we can put to the page?
Yeah, so this song specifically was a little different than anything I've written previously. So I wrote with Brian Fowler and Micah Kuiper, who are two great friends of mine, and they are powerhouses in this genre of music. They write a lot of what you hear from Toby Mac and Stephen Curtis Chapman and all these guys. I mean, they are amazing at what they do. So usually I'll come in to a write and I'll be like, here's this idea I have. Let's kind of bring it to life. I had just done a write with those guys a few days prior for a different song. And Brian calls me out of the blue one day and he's like, what are you doing right now? And I'm in the studio at home here working on something. And he was like, I just had an idea that I think only your voice is for. And I'm like, really? So I go down there and he gives me the concept and kind of the basic idea of the chorus. And I was like, let's go. So we wrote it that day. And it was so special. I want to give them all the credit in the world. I don't think that this song would have ever existed had they not kind of had this idea and brought me into it. I feel just blessed to be a part of it, really. But yeah, and then it was a long process from there. For whatever reason, in this genre of music, I usually write a song about a year before it comes out. So we wrote this song quite a while ago, especially because the band is so full time and it's a freight train, and I always have to find the right time to release music so that I can give it the attention that it deserves
Right.
with how busy the band can be. But yeah, so those guys are so gracious and so awesome. My life is so different from the average person that you would find in CCM, and my voice, my look, everything. But for whatever reason, those guys just constantly believe in me, and champion me and guide me, and they're so awesome. So yeah, Micah Kuiper, Brian Fowler, those guys are really the magic behind the song for sure.
I think Brian Fowler was absolutely right. I think your voice on this song, I can't think of any other voice that would have that punctuation mark on this that
So
you
much.
have.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. Well, speaking of your look, tell me about, and I love that we see the one side of the story written on your neck in the music video. And
Yeah.
I know the other side of the story is on the other side of your neck. Talk to me about your neck tattoos.
Yeah, for sure. So on the left side of my neck, this is the woman at the well. And I love that story because in that moment, Jesus was breaking down boundaries that had been upheld by law up until that point. You know, the woman that he was talking to, the way he was talking to her, the grace he was giving her. So the woman at the well, she represents grace. And the other side of my neck is Moses, which represents law, you know, obviously, the commandments, and both of those things together. There's no one like Jesus. Jesus is perfectly gracious and perfectly lawful at the same time, you know, and that is the story I wanted to portray with my neck. And the back of my neck is the cross, which I think is where both of those things come together. And just show perfect grace and perfect law. And so, yeah, I mean, it's kind of it without me telling the story, I don't think anybody would know. Like, a lot of people are like, is that Mother Mary? And I'm like, no.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, it's a fun opportunity for people to ask, and for me to have that be a part of my testimony and the things that I share with them, and just to witness in those moments is really cool. But yeah,
Well,
so
the symbolism was not lost on me when I watched the music video, and you know, it was just grace was painted all over that music video, along with what you were singing about what Christ ultimately did, not just for the woman at the well, but for all of us. And
right.
it's a deep well, you know, and I'm grateful for the words in that song.
Yeah. Oh my
Powerful.
gosh. My entire life, I have resorted to Christian radio to usher in the Spirit in moments when I feel like the Spirit is so far. And when I get home from tours, you know, like the other world of music that I exist in,
Yeah.
so different. And when I get home from tour, I'm usually depleted and needing encouragement. It's not like you get saved and then all of a sudden for the rest of your life, you just feel like God is so near, right? As Christians, we need to be encouraged just as much as someone who doesn't believe, right? And so I've always resorted to Christian radio to encourage me and to remind me of what's true and what really matters. And so to write songs or to be a part of songs that do that for anybody else is the greatest gift ever. I can't even begin to describe. I really felt like when I started to pursue Christian music, it was my way of being obedient. God gave me this gift, if you will, and this is the way that I give it back. And so to hear that it's affecting someone, to even see the tears in your eyes, I can't even begin to describe just how thankful I am to be a part of that, you know.
Oh, I'm grateful too. And even as we're talking, I hear that just that big anthem chorus of this song. And I really am excited for people to spend more time with this song and feel that encouragement that you're speaking of, because you have given it back in this song. And so thank you for being faithful with that. And I will say this too, that I think the position of your tattoos being so near your vocal cords, the opportunity for you to sing that grace and sing about the cross in ways that take us beyond the law is full circle.
It's awesome. Yeah. That's very cool. And because I have my tattoos, they almost look invisible to me. Like I don't see them when I look in the mirror, you know. It's just my skin.
Yeah.
So to think about it that way, and even just them playing a role in this music video, you know, and I wouldn't think about that, you know. It's very cool. It's very cool to see it from that perspective.
Well, before I let you go, I have to ask, how often do you get back to Spokane, Washington?
But yeah, Spokane, Washington. I get back. We usually try to go back every Christmas. We love to go back and visit, but it is a commitment. You know, it's a time commitment. But then we just actually went back this month and realized that going when it's warm out is significantly more enjoyable, you know? So I think we're going to try to start doing 2 trips a year. My grandparents are in their 90s, just incredible humans. And time with them is more important now than ever. So getting back a couple times a year is the new goal.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Matty, for spending time with me today. And I wish you the best. And can't wait to see you guys again. And just, man, blessed up by your music.
Thank you. And yeah, you're so good at what you do. Every time we get the chance just to even talk, it's a blessing. So seriously, thank you for having me. This was awesome.
Oh, thank you, Matty.
Yep.
All right. Have a great day.
See y'all.
Yeah.